Okay, moving on to the next section, we're now going to be talking about the derivatives of composite functions. And if you recall, we touched on composite functions a little bit in advanced functions. And basically what they are is, it's like a function within a function. So let's say you have two functions, f of x and g of x. Well, you might see something like this. You remember seeing that, this kind of notation, this f open dot g? Well, that's just the same as f of g of x. Okay, and that's a composite function. It's a function within a function. So, let's do an example. Let's say that I got f of x is equal to square root of x. And let's say we have another function, g of x, and that's equal to x squared plus 2. Well, if we were to make a composite function with these two, basically f dot g or f of g of x, these two mean the same thing. Basically what it means is that this whole g of x, we're going to sub in for x in f of x, right? So basically, you'll have the square root of this g of x here, x squared plus 2, right? So one more time, we subbed in this x squared plus 2 for x in f of x, right? Because it's f of g of x. Okay, now what if we did the opposite? What if we did g dot f, or basically g of f of x? Well, in this case, we would take our f of x function, square root of x, and plug that in for all the x values in g of x, right? G of f of x, makes sense? So, we would take the square root of x, plug it in for x here, so it would be the square root of x squared plus 2. And the square root of x squared is just x by itself, so it's plus 2. Right? So g of f of x is equal to x plus 2. And that's basically how composite functions work. You're just taking, it's like a function within a function. So there's a couple of examples in your book where they get you to practice like the prerequisite skills. And then after you're able to do this kind of stuff and you get comfortable with it, then we're going to go into finding the derivatives of these kind of functions using something called the chain rule. And I'll explain that in the next video.